What's up, duelists? RBET4 is coming up July 30th and 31st. I believe that is the dates of the tournament. For those of you who don't know, RBET stands for Really Big Edison Tournament. It's a tournament that I throw in the Format Library Discord. You can find an invite to that in the description below. If you guys want to participate in that tournament series, that tournament, you can enter for free the day before the event when signups happen. And then, of course, you can watch previous RBET events here on the channel. Since we are leading up to the biggest, most premier Edison format event since the Shonen Jump Championship, we got to be playing the most competitive decks. We got to be playing, the Dragon Turbo, the Diva Zombie Hero thing. We got to be playing the Vayu Turbo. Those are the last three I played the last few days, and today I'm going to be playing Quickdraw Synchro. Quickdraw is it's the deck that won Edison, the Shonen Jump Championship, and I think it's still a solid deck. This list is pretty straightforward. It's got a few techs that I'm going to go over real quick, but it's fairly standard. There's not too much that's too crazy about it. The one weird thing is that there's actually 3 hamsters and only 2 Raikos. I found that Raiko itself is kind of mid, but Hamster is kind of goated. So we're playing the 3 hamsters, the 2 Raikos. In place of the 3rd Raiko, I have 1 main deck DD Crow. And then, of course, we have the 3 Caius. That's another tech slot. You could cut one of these Caiuses if you want to. And then I have a Battle Fader as well. We're playing all the best trap cards that are legal in this format. We could be playing a 3rd D Prison in here, but I think 2 is plenty. We're not playing Phoenix Wing Windblast, which is one of the better trap cards in the format. But this deck, between Quickdraw wanting to discard, Battle Fader being an inherent -1, that kind of stuff, you don't have a lot of great discards outside of specifically Dandelion, and you kind of want to save the Dandelion in hand to ditch to the Quickdraw itself. So Phoenix Wing Windblast doesn't make the cut for this specific list. There are other lists that I have built where there's like a Treeborn Frog in here, a few extra tribute monsters, maybe 1 less hamster, that kind of thing. And those lists do better with Phoenix Wing Windblast, but the reason I'm not playing it in this list today is because we only have the 2 good discard targets for it. In the sideboard, we've got to max out on all the best sideboard cards in the format, the most winningest cards. Namely, these cards here in the center, the 2 Cyber Dragons, the 2 DD Crows, the 3rd is in the main deck, the 2 Vanity Fiends, and then the 3 Dust Tornadoes. These are the best sideboard cards in Edison format. Not even close, in my opinion. I think these 4 cards pretty much cover just about anything that you can run into and help you deal with all the bullshit. Dust Tornado hits a lot of floodgates like Royal Oppression. It hits a lot of the annoying stuff from other decks like Skill Drain, from Hero Beat. It hits just back rows from the Gladiator Beast deck, from the Blackwing deck, that kind of thing. Gets rid of Black Whirlwind, gets rid of Future Fusion. Whatever you need to snipe. Dust Tornado is just extra spot removal for the post-board situations. It's also chainable, so you can bring it in against other Raiko decks if they're going first. It gives you something chainable to set. And then Vanity's Fiend helps you against the unfair stuff, namely frogs, dragons, that kind of stuff. DD Crow, of course, helps you against the unfair graveyard stuff, Phantom of Chaos, whatnot, Lightsworn. And then Cyber Dragon covers machines and other aggro matchups, helps you put tempo back in your favor, going second as well. We've got 1 Destiny Hero Plasma. This is a sideboard card that I am trying for the first time today. It is a card that is good against specifically the frog matchups. I think this card is an auto win against frogs unless they have Soul Exchange, or if they have, I believe, Brain Control, or Enemy Controller, I guess, if they play that too. But this card's just very good. It's huge pressure. It comes down, it steals a monster, it attacks for usually 3,100 because you're usually taking a Monarch. And then they can't really answer it with any of their monster effects. They have to use something like I said earlier, whatever those cards are. And then we've got 1 Kaiku. This is for Vayu and Heroes. I am testing it out. I'm only trying out the 1. We can reuse the 1 with Pot of Avarice and Drill Warrior, of course. That's one of the strengths of this deck, is that once you find your 1 sideboard card, you do have kind of infinite copies of it, thanks to the ability to recycle so much. And then, of course, we've got 1 Lightning Vortex. This is for opposing Vanity's Fiends and stuff like Fossil Dyna, Thunder King, stuff that can get annoying. Double Pulling the Rug, also for Monarchs, but doubles against gadgets as well. And then 1 Trap Hole for Blackwings. I just wanted an extra Trap Hole to bring in against that deck, because that deck can be a problem for this. All right, I think the deck looks solid. I think we can do a lot of cool stuff with what we have in this list. It's not really my personal list that I would play, but I think it's the closest to a list that you'll see in RBET4, which is, of course, coming up. If you guys aren't already subscribed, make sure and do that right now. We're on our way to 5,000. We're about to break 4,800, pretty close. I would love to hit 5,000 by the end of the month. It would be amazing. I know about 35-40% of you guys who watch these videos almost every single day aren't subscribed. So, you know what? Just do it. It helps me out a lot. It boosts the channel and the algorithm. It helps the format grow. There's really no downside to subscribing, except you do see me in your subscription feed, and you can even hide me from your subscription feed if you really want to. The only thing it does is it helps me out. Helps me out. You know, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. You guys may not think that you, the player, you, the viewer, have a lot of power, but you do. You do. Together, viewers together strong. Where the hell is everyone today? Why is nobody playing Edison format on this fine Wednesday afternoon? Oh my goodness. Let me go ahead and tag in the Discord to see if anyone's down to play some games. I am tagging in the wrong Discord. Oh my goodness, what am I doing? Here we go. Never mind. We've got Alex570. Let's go, Alex570. Good luck, have fun. I have a feeling he's picking scissors. Okay, he picked rock. I think he's going to pick rock again. God damn it. It's going to be one of those days. It's going to be one of those days. It really should be randomized. It really should be automated. I don't know why we have to do the whole rock, paper, scissors thing. It's like, do you want to just start the game off tilted? No, not really. I actually think one of the worst parts about this Quickdraw deck is it doesn't do so hot going second. Like, going second plays are pretty slow. Setting a monster going second, like setting a hamster going second here is not ideal. We do have Heavy Storm, which is nice. We do have Bottomless, which is nice. Interesting. Gladiator, Beast, Laquari. Well, we could Storm, but I'm thinking how we're going to pick up this whole situation is by basically having Hamster into Raikou into whatever. If we Cold Wave now, doesn't really work out for us. I'm going to try to Heavy Storm. I mean, if they have it, they have it. There's only so much we can do. Sometimes they play Dark Bribe, so it's good to force a Dark Bribe. No, they just didn't have it. Okay, that's good for us. Torrential's an interesting one. Okay, this is actually not looking too bad, because they can't get over the hamster with just Laquari. If they try to make Geyseris, we can Bottomless that. We will lose our hamster, which sucks, don't get me wrong, but I think this is okay. Test Tiger doesn't activate. It's an inherent summon. Yeah, it doesn't activate in hand. It's an inherent summon. Priority. Okay. Whatever they tag this Laquari into, I mean, it doesn't really do much. They get Bestiari, I Bottomless it, and then they fucking lose. They get whatever else. They get Equest, add back Chariot. That could be not bad, but then we just Bottomless the Equest, so what can you do? What can you do? They're going to get Murmillo. They're going to activate the Murmillo effect. Only legal target is Murmillo. Murmillo destroys face-up monsters only, so they have to destroy their own Murmillo here, and it is mandatory. Yep. So Murmillo's going to destroy itself. Opponent's going to shame concede, basically. Unfortunate that this is the caliber of player, but you know what? Hey, everybody's got to start somewhere. Okay, we are going to board in our Dust Tornadoes. I think they're pretty good here. I actually think Trap Hole's pretty good here too. Lightning Vortex is not bad. All of these are considerations for sure. I think Trap Dust Shoot is quite bad. I think Pot of Avarice is kind of hard to support. I think Hamster is actually not that bad, but we're going to side one out anyway. We're going to side out the Gores. I don't like Gores in this matchup. I don't like Crow so much. Swap all these in, all those out. Probably going to cut... I want to bring in Kaiku and the 2 Cyber Dragons. I think these are quite good. Just not sure what we want to cut. Sangan, maybe not the best. It could just be more hamsters, honestly. Like, maybe one Kai's, one hamster, and I don't really know. Card Trooper, maybe. Card Trooper's not bad. Could be Quickdraw. I like all the traps we have. Maybe it's Cold Wave. Maybe we don't bring in Kaiku. Let's just bring in the 2 Cybers. And let's try this. This should be good. Cool. Hopefully the opponent tightens up their play for this game. If Murmillo could pop face downs, maybe Gladiator Beast would actually be a decent deck, but as it stands. Okay, they let me go first, which I'm going to ask, why did you let me go first? Was it a misclick? I don't understand that. I don't understand our opponent at all for this. I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna leave this game. I'm gonna go get a better opponent. I'm sorry, guys. I apologize, but we're gonna get a better quality of opponent. Just because that's not really showcasing the Quickdraw deck in the way I want to. Like, imagine they hadn't done that. Like, let's say on the last turn of the game they had attacked with Laquari into the Hamster. I'm gonna play against Dastrar. I know Dastrar is a powerful opponent. I know that he's about his A game and whatnot. And no disrespect to our previous opponent at all. Obviously they're still learning. It's just that I'm recording a video and I want to get someone a little bit more competent who knows not to let their opponent go first ever in this format. Pretty much. All right, opening hand looks really solid. Unfortunately, we did lose the rock, paper, scissors, but we've got Heavy Storm again in our opening hand, which is like, you can't really ask for much more. Honestly, Card Trooper is pretty good to summon into just a lone back row, so I'm going to try to do that, actually. I'm going to Card Trooper, and I'm going to mill 3. Yes, if we hit Titanial, it's pretty bad. But we hit Dandelion instead, because never didn't have it. Let's go ahead and swing for 1900. Punch the opponent for a solid amount of damage. I want to set D-Prison Dust Shoot, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. We'll save our Heavy Storm for the big turn. We'll save it for the big turn, you know what I'm saying? The big turn. Yeah. Yeah, that's what's up. End phase Raigeki Break. This is going to hit a back row for sure. They're going to blind hit the Dust Shoot. That sucks, but hey, they got us. They discarded Malicious. They used Raigeki Break. That means they're probably playing Frog Hero, if I have to guess. And that's probably a frog monster. Yep. That would make the most sense. Okay. With this combination that we have here, we can actually do quite a bit. And I think we're going to. So we're going to go Lone Fire. God, we can do so much. Hold. Hold. If we put up Titanium, let's go ahead and Lone Fire, activate, sack the token. Go get the Titanium Raw. This is a curious moment. I think we get the other Lone Fire. This could be wrong, though. And then we'll sack this Lone Fire, go get Titanium. And we don't want to mill with Trooper yet. We actually want to activate Quickdraw. We want to pitch Debris Dragon. Special summon out the Quickdraw. And then we want to Synchro into Drill Warrior. And then we're going to go Battle Phase first. Hold up. If we go Battle Phase, drill over the set, it's not quite lethal with these 3. So we're going to go Battle Phase. Not mill with Trooper yet. I want to... Oh, fuck. I should have milled with Trooper before banishing the drill, because if we mill Dandy, we actually lock out our drill from existing, which is bad. So I should have milled first, but slight misplay on my part. Looks like they are not playing the deck I thought they were playing, which is interesting. Let's just attack for 400. And then 500 and then 28. We might also not mill, but I think it's... We might not mill at all. 500 and then I will attack for 2800. just because I want to put the opponent low as fuck. They're thinking about Necrogardener here. I think Necrogardener here makes the most sense so that they don't take that much damage. I'm not actually going to mill with Card Trooper. Well, I guess it gives the drill the most options. That's fine. We'll just banish this guy and then pass. Yeah, I think that makes the most sense. Their deck is interesting, for sure. Looks like they have Malicious, they have Necrogardener, they have a couple cool ways to get value out of a Regeki Break discard, but they haven't made a single play yet, so that's a little questionable. Maybe not questionable, but I don't really know what their deck intends on doing. I think we should be okay to win this one. Titanial makes it really difficult for the opponents to play. They're going to Heavy Storm first. Okay. Respectable. That does do something. Something like a Doom Caliber Knight would be good if they're playing... Oh, looks like they're playing Quickdraw themselves. And they're playing Norlaris. Okay, so it's Norlaris Quickdraw. That's understandable, question mark, kinda. They're going to activate Malicious, that's fine. This might be a double tribute for Dark Monster, yeah. Yeah, I could see that. They're on Titanial, okay. That's fine. They should attack over Lone Fire. Yeah, that makes the most sense. Okay, there goes Lone Fire. Drill's going to come back. We are going to add back one of our monsters. I believe we're going to add back Dandelion. We're going to go to main 1. We're going to activate Drill to banish. They're going to let that happen. We're going to discard Dandelion. Dandelion's effect is going to activate. We're going to get 2 tokens. And then I'm going to activate Card Trooper to mill 3. Nice, okay. And then we'll crash the Titanial into the Titanial. And then attack directly for 1900. Nice. Main phase 2, we'll set the D-Prison and pass. Next turn we have Drill Warrior coming back. That can get us Titanial or Caius again. There's a lot of different ways we can put together a win here, I think. They're forced to allure, which is okay. But I think we're okay here. I think this matchup's going to be a lot of, can we get Drill banished before the opponent gets their Norlaris off? And I'm going to try to focus as much as possible on that or preventing the Norlaris. Okay, here's Lone Fire, but Titanial's out of the deck already. So this is just going to grab a Dandelion. Oh, it's going to grab Mystic Tomato. That's not bad. Well, it wouldn't be bad, but we have D-Prison, so it's a bit unfortunate for the opponent. Yep. And I think their set card must have been either in another discard trap or a Trap Dust Shoot. Both of those make sense to me. So we do want the DD Crows. We also do kind of want Plasma. Okay. Kaiku also seems fairly solid here. Not the most solid. He doesn't do the best in 2 cards like Hamster, Raikou, and Dandelion. Maybe we don't bring in Kaiku. We'll see. We'll see. We also have Vanity's Fiend, which can be pretty good against the opponent. We've also got Lightning Vortex, which can be pretty good against the opponent. Just depends on if they start with Titanial, if they have a hot start like that or not. I think Heavy Storm is going to be largely pointless, as is Cold Wave. These are both cards that are going to end up screwing us more than they screw the opponent. We can probably cut... pardon me. We can probably cut... I think Gores is alright. I think Battle Fader is a little bit mediocre. I don't expect to be attacked all that much. We might be able to cut an Avarice just because I believe they're going to be bringing in a lot of Crows. We might be able to cut a Caius because it's a bad top deck. And we're boarding in a Tribute Monster, so there's that. And then I think we do want some amount of these cards here. Dust Tornado is not bad because it can hit those discard traps a little bit preemptively. We could also use Lightning Vortex to prevent aggression from something like a big Dark Creator turn, something like that. I don't love that Lightning Vortex can't deal with Drill. I think we'll just try this, and we'll leave in one of these cards. And the card I think we're going to leave in is Battle Fader. Because if it comes down to a drill race, I'd rather have the Fader in than not. Once we see more of their deck, we can put something together that would side a little bit better. But I think just assuming it's like Hamster Raikou, Plant Engine, Phantom of Chaos, Norlaris, Quickdraw, and then maybe Debris Dragon and stuff. It's possible we want Vanity's Fiend, but they have the discard traps. They have Phantom of Chaos as a way to get rid of Vanity's Fiend fairly effectively. So I think it's best to just play it like this. Would I have been happy if this was an Avarice or something? No, I'm actually pretty happy that this is a Battle Fader here. That's a good thing for us. Good thing for us for sure. Again, Card Trooper, great draw. Plays really well into back row. We're going to go ahead and activate him. 3x times. Mill 2 monsters. Very good for our Avarice, actually. Super happy about that. They're going to Wind Blast. Pitching Treeborn Frog. That's interesting. We might be using the DD Crow on that Treeborn Frog. This is kind of what I was talking about in the deck tech, is that these lists, they can definitely take advantage of Phoenix Wing Wind Blast by having better discard outlets, like Treeborn Frog, the other guy. Who's the other guy? You know the guy. All right, we're going to set D-Prison, and I think we are going to DD Crow the Treeborn Frog if it tries to come back, because I don't want our D-Prison to get Caiused. If they activate the Treeborn, they might not activate it. They might not activate it. Yeah, let's go ahead and DD Crow that. It also puts us one monster closer to being able to activate Pot of Avarice, which is another reason why I'm like just gunning the DD Crow at any given moment. If they had a better discard for this, like Norlaris, they would have discarded it, basically. I mean, that's just the way it is. Thankfully, we have the hand trap interaction that is good in this format. This is solid play. Okay, so they're going to be able to use this to go into Mystic Tomato. Mystic Tomato. How do we want to deal with that? Do we want to deprison it or do we want to Caius it? I think we want to deprison it. I think the reason we want to deprison it is because I don't know. I'd rather normal summon Card Trooper next turn and try to Avarice into a piece of interaction. So that's my thought process. I think the Caius is going to be better later. Let's mill 3. Hopefully hit a couple monsters. We did. Thank goodness. I'm going to Avarice and leave Raikou. No, wait. Leave Hamster. Yeah, that's better, yeah. 1. Damn, I can't fucking do this. I keep forgetting we play only 2 Raikou. 3, 4, 5. So we do have to shuffle him back at the moments where we need to in order for our hamsters to be good. Okay. Not the worst. 1900 direct. First damage. A little bit of pressure. Getting them below 1,000 is definitely something I'm looking to be doing, simply because Norlaris does take 1,000 life points to activate. So if they want to activate Phantom of Chaos and then copy Norlaris, they're going to have to pay 1,000 life points as cost. If they kill the Card Trooper, we get a fresh draw, which is nice. We do have Hamster Caius as a way to sort of bridge the next few turns, maybe get some more pressure going. We've had pretty lucky draws so far, which is something that I can't complain about, ever. Drawing, like, even reasonably well with this deck is nice. There are a lot of cards that can be dead in the early game, notably Caius, Pot of Avarice, that kind of stuff. And then in some situations, Hamster is actually quite bad. So, it's pretty easy to brick in opening hands, so I'm pretty thankful we haven't thus far. Big think from Dastrar. He's got a lot of stuff going on right now in his hand. At least, 5 potential plays, 6 potential plays, including pass. Maybe there's combination plays he can make. He doesn't have Gores unless he just drew it, otherwise he would have played it into the Card Trooper. I think we're okay, honestly, all things considered. Note that Phantom of Chaos can copy Lone Fire Blossom, but then it won't be able to activate its effect because it's not a plant monster. Okay, Quickdraw activates. That's something we do have to be a little careful of. Pitching Titanial, though, so there's no, like, real threat there. There's Caius, Banish the Card Trooper. Okay, So that is a big turn from them, but they spent 4 cards to out our card trooper, and now we just get to Fader Caius them and be winning, more or less. And they have 0 cards, and we're going to have our live back row next turn. They can't set anything. They already normal summoned, so that's going to be that. We also can't set anything, so we can't set that Typhoon, unfortunately. We're going to be able to Caius that, deal 1,000, and then attack directly for another 2,400. Even though the next attack isn't lethal, it's going to be pretty close because they're going to be at 1,000 and they can no longer Norlaris us. Ooh, set monster. Okay. Dust Shoot, obviously useless here. Let's go ahead and attack with Caius. I could have normaled the hamster. Ooh. Multiple tomatoes. Okay. Interesting. Very interesting. I'm not going to set the Dust Shoot because there's going to be opportunities we get to maybe pitch it to a Drill Warrior. I am going to set the... This guy's going to send... Okay. Send Norlaris. What was I going to say? I am going to set the Typhoon. Oh, they're going to send Plague. That's totally fine because I have Bottomless, so we're totally chill. I'm going to set, and pass. That was last turn. Yep. Yeah. Yep. Opponent figuring it out, and then we're good to go. I mean, they have to spend a card out of their hand to use this Plague. It leaves them with 1 card. We've got 2 back row. The hamster and the Bottomless deal with any synchro they can make. Brownic doesn't do it. Fucking yugioh isn't going to do it because we have Bottomless. So if they have the Typhoon, they have to 50-50. If they have Heavy Storm, they have to do that. They no longer have Cold Wave, so they no longer have access to that play. I think they probably should have just gone for the Caius into the back row and saved the Cold Wave. I think that was their biggest misplay here because, I mean, so much can go wrong, right? Like, so much can go wrong just from that one play. And even if the Caius trades with the back row for them, that's good for them. That's good for them because this back row is going to hurt you at some point. It's a post-board game. None of the back rows are dead, he says with Trap Dust Shoot in his hand now. But, okay, Foolish Burial is totally fine. They can Norlaris us here. That is one thing they could do. It's totally possible that we get Norlaris. But that's the only thing that's really getting us. And they didn't get Phantom of Chaos off of the guy, and they didn't send Norlaris off of the other guy. Okay, they got Malicious with that. Okay, Stardust Dragon. Stardust Dragon will beat our setup pretty handily. No cap. There's Malicious. I will thumbs up the Malicious summon. They're going to activate Plague. I will thumbs up that. I'm curious what they're going to do. They could also just, like, make Stardust and then Thought Ruler. Okay, so, yeah, you definitely don't want to make Thought Ruler here. You've seen 1 Deep Prison, 1 book already gone. So there's more Bottomless, and there's more Torrential and Mirror Force and stuff like that than there are... No, it doesn't target. There are more... what is it? Of the other things. GG's. You definitely make Stardust here. Damn, no GG's, Destrar? Damn. Okay, anyway, the point I'm making is, because I've used 1 book, I haven't used this book. I think I milled it or something. I don't remember. But because there's 1 book and 1 Deep Prison gone, that means there's potentially 1 book, 1 Deep Prison left. That's 2 cards. And then you know there's at least 1 Torrential, 1 Mirror Force, 2 Bottomless. So that's 4 cards that Stardust beats. On top of that, Stardust also beats if this is a Raikou. If this is a Raikou and you make whatever... Oh, he says meant to say GG. There we go. See? There you go. No worries. I knew Destrar would hit me with the GGs. But yes. So also, if this is a set Raikou, it's better to make Stardust. So you're playing around not only all of that, but what you know about in play as well. And then on top of that, like, I don't know. Stardust is just better. Like, if I top deck Debris Dragon, I don't have any targets right now. But if this is like Dandelion, then forcing me to go Red Dragon, like, I don't know. It's just better. It's just better to make Stardust there. All right, let's get another game. That was a good match, I think. It showcased kind of the strength of this deck and why it's still good and relevant in this metagame. And a large part of it is this deck just gets to play the best sideboard cards. You saw how impactful DD Crow was. You saw how impactful, like, what was the other card? It was mostly DD Crow that game, but you saw how impactful the cards can be. Like, Cyber Dragon would have been good against the Glads player, like that kind of stuff. You just get to play the most powerful cards in the format, and it's all in one deck. And then whatever the most powerful card in the matchup is, you just reuse that with Drill Warrior and Avarice as many times as you can. So you're kind of just like making your deck as tuned as possible for whatever matchup it is you're going against. And then after that, you just spam the best card in that matchup over and over and over and over again. So that's why I think this deck is still strong. It can still deal with some of the unfair strategies that are going on, as long as you're including the right pieces of defense. I don't know if this trap lineup is correct. I don't know if this certain build is correct, but this build is like just the most, like, these cards handle the most shit. So I think it's pretty easy. We're gonna play against the Pokey Rapper. Good luck, have fun. I wonder if he's a fan of the Pokemon Cypher. Shout out CTC. Oh man, what is he picking? He's picking paper. Dude, 0-3 in rock, paper, scissors. Bruh. Again, I hate going second with the Quickdraw deck. I think it doesn't do as good of a job going second. I think going first is much better, but thankfully we opened Lone Fire, which is like one of your best going second cards. We're also going to start at 9,000, which is really big. You guys may not think it, but it's pretty big. Unfortunately, we do have an early Solemn, which could set us behind in life points, make us forced to play a certain way. Interesting. They start off with just a set back row. We could do a lot of different stuff here. We could set Raikou, set Solemn. I'm kind of cool with that. And then pass. I don't know what they could summon that I would Solemn. Maybe an Ancient Gear Beast I would Solemn. Just sets a monster. Passes the turn. Okay. So we can Raikou pop their monster and then Caius the back row, but I think I'd rather Raikou pop the back row, even if it is chainable, like even if it is a Typhoon or a Wind Blast or whatever. That's honestly fine. We'll mill 3. Milled a Battle Fader and 2 other trap cards. That's a little annoying, but I think it's fine because now it gives us a chance to Lone Fire and get this resolved through any of the opponent's bullshit. Special summon out Titanial and go ahead and swing for 2,800. I have a feeling the opponent has Heavy Storm in hand, so I'm only going to set 1 Book of Moon and pass. I'm going to keep setting 1 lone back row every single time. I'm a little curious. Their opening turn was kind of interesting. Here is a Bora the Spear. They are going to attack, demonstrating that they have, in fact, Kalut. I'm going to Book of Moon their Bora, and then we'll be in an okay position again next turn. Sets it back row, sets 2 back rows. Interesting. All right. We can make a couple of different plays. We could Caius banish the set Bora, but that plays into Solemn Judgment as well as Bottomless Trap Hole. I think the best play is to actually normal summon Dandelion. And then attack with Titanial first. In this case, if they had had Icarus attack, we could tribute the Dandelion to negate it, get 2 tokens, and just be in a decent spot. We'll set Book and pass. Hopefully they don't have like a Typhoon. Looks like they don't, which is nice. Shura, that kind of thing is annoying, but we know they have 1 Kalut in hand, so we just keep their monster out of play, and then we should be good to win. I think that's the game plan here. Blackwings doesn't normally play Torrential, so we don't have to worry about that. I do have a read that one of their back rows is either Royal Oppression or Bottomless Trap Hole. Here's Blizzy, the Far North. Okay. That's going to activate, and we're going to let that happen. I mean, they can have their Bora back. I'm okay with that. Here, they could Synchro. We could book the Bora here. I don't really see the point in doing that. The summon of Bora is totally fine. They can make Bryonic, but that doesn't do anything. Titanial can negate it. They can make Goyo Guardian, try to crash the Titanial, but we'll just book it. And we know that they don't have a real stop for this whole situation. They can make Armed Wing, which would turn on their Vayu. But the Armdoing alone doesn't get over the Titanial. They'd have to spend the Kalute, which is something to think about. We may use the book here. Oh, they're going to Special Gale. That's okay. They're going to activate Gale. We are going to negate the shit out of that by sacrificing Dandelion. And then we're going to activate Dandelion's effect. They're going to chain Royal Oppression. That's fine. That's totally chill. That's kind of the Royal Oppression we knew was there. They're going to attack. We are going to book their monster. I think that's the play. New back row is annoying, but it's fine. We can maybe figure out a way to deal with it. Let's go ahead and Titanial over the Armdoing. Main phase 2. We could have sacked for Caius there, but it plays into bottomless a little bit. Maybe we should have, actually. Because now they can Armor Master over the Titanial with Kalute. But then we have Raikou Pop. Raikou Caius on the next turn should be okay enough for us. Provided they don't find, like... I don't know. I think that our position's actually okay. That's okay. They're going to get the Armor Master. But that's totally fine. As long as they don't have, like, fuck-ass Dark Arm Dragon or another Blizzy. This is okay. We are going to take 1100. But we're at 7900, which is really solid. Hopefully there's no main deck... what's that card? Thing. Main deck Thing. Skill Drain. That's the card I'm a little bit worried about. So we'll Raikou. We'll target the Armor Master. Mill 3. Just want to get the Armor Master out of play. Interesting. Okay. Good mills for us, actually. I didn't want to draw any of these 3 cards. Maybe the Hamster would have been okay. I am going to sack for Caius, and I am going to target the Royal Oppression. Because I just want to get my 2-for-1 now. Yep, they had Bottomless and Oppression. So our reads were correct there. Which is good. It is good, genuinely speaking. It's just only a little awkward if they have the second Royal Oppression now. Which they very well could have. I mean, they've seen 11 cards in their deck. It's very possible. Any other monster here is annoying, but we'll actually take those life points. That's very good for us to be up in life points here. Sangan's a great draw. We could force the Royal Oppression now by going for Debris Dragon. I kind of like that, but I also kind of like going for Sangan, because Debris Dragon is actually pretty bad if they top deck Blizzard here. So I'm going to go for Sangan and attack for 1000. The worst possible top deck for us is Blizzard. Their hand is likely Sirocco or Dark Arm Dragon, because any other card would have been committed to the field. Maybe a Kalute wouldn't have been. Who knows? But it's most likely Sirocco or Dark Arm Dragon. Okay. Nothing from the opponent again. Now, we can do more. We can do more this turn. I'm just trying to think if we want to. We can Debris back Dandy. Synchro with the Sangan. Go find whatever. I think one of their back rows is Starlight Road. Normally when you see Upstart Goblin, you see Starlight Road. Sometimes you see Dark Bribe, but I think Dark Bribe is dog shit, so maybe it's not that. We can also just go for Caius, but then we play into the second Bottomless for sure. I think we're going to go for Debris Dragon, actually. Target Dandy. If they have Royal Oppression, they have to think about using it here. It's pretty big. Yep, so they do. Okay. And I'm stoked. That's honestly so good for us. Because we put them down to 1300, we set the D-Prison, and now they're just super dead to like almost anything. Like if they summon like a Blackwing and attack like this, that's fine. They're going to attack my monster, most likely. Maybe they won't. Who knows? I don't know. We're going to D-Prison. They might have an Icarus here, but you're losing. You know what I mean? You're losing the game at this point. Sweet. Okay. Torrential's also incredible. We're going to go ahead and put them below the range where they can activate their Royal Oppression. So now their Royal Oppression is actually a liability. If they top deck Blizzy, they are super fucking dead. We can set our Torrential Tribute, and then we can pretty much just pass. We could go for Caius Lethal, but that plays into Bottomless Trap Hole and puts us in an awkward situation. I'd rather just like kill them with the Sangan if they don't draw a monster. Yep. Okay, cool. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. This matchup it's an interesting one, right? It's an interesting one for sure. Cards like Solemn Judgment, actually quite bad. I think Brain Control is interesting in that it can be good, but the 800 life points can come up a lot. You have to be careful because they have piercers. They have piercers like Bora and Armed Wing, and those cards, those damages, they add up really quickly. Like really, really quickly. We're going to board in the Trap Hole over the Solemn Judgment. It's basically the same thing. 99% of the time, your Solemn Judgment is going to be used on a normal summon. So Trap Hole is just essentially a Solemn Judgment that doesn't cost 4,000 life points. The only other thing you're solemning in the matchup is Royal Oppression, which we're going to bring in the Dust Tornadoes for. So that's that. We are going to cut, I believe, one Pot of Avarice. Maybe Foolish. Maybe Quickdraw. These cards get cut. And then I do like Cyber Dragon in this matchup. I think it attacks over all their threats. I like the potential in it. I'm not sure if I want to bring in anything other than the 2 Cyber Dragons, but I want to figure out exactly where I want these Cyber Dragons to come in. I think Hamster's solid. It's Stonewall, Shura, and Bora, and it grabs you a Raikou. It gives you +1s, plays around Oppression a little bit. Just gives you your best opening play. Even going second in this matchup, I think Set Hamster is a perfectly fine opening play. I think DD Crow is pretty weak in this matchup. While their best play is Blizzy, you do want to side out DD Crow. Just because outside of Blizzy, DD Crow is completely dead when they're just beating you to death with a Sirocco, and in which case you'd rather have the Cyber Dragon, of course. And then I am going to cut a Debris Dragon. So we're going to swap these 2 cards for these 2 cards and be good to go. You could also bring in Pulling the Rug. This is not a bad matchup for Pulling the Rug because, again, their best play is Blizzy, and this does stop it past Icarus attack, which is very nice. But it's also a liability to just sit it and play. And it's a little bit underpowered compared to the other stuff. It's possible it's better than something like Brain Control, but we'll see how this match goes before I decide if I want Pulling the Rugs. Opening hand looks solid. Dust Shoot can be dead later in the game, so it's good to have it early here. And like I said, Hamster is one of the best plays against this deck in general. Excuse me. So you definitely want that. I am inclined to blind Space Typhoon into back row if they summon a monster or set a monster, just because I want a chance at hitting the Icarus attack. If they set more than 3, this could be problematic. Yeah, so the Dust Shoot is now pretty much dead, which sucks, but looks like we're going to get Dust Shooted as well. That's fine. That's fine. They just take the Hamster, and then we're both top decking. Looks like they're a little Monster Light. I may not set the Dandelion. We'll see. I'm for sure setting Typhoon bottomless. I'm not for sure setting the other cards. Probably going to set Dandelion. I think I am going to set Typhoon bottomless and Dandelion. I think that's the plan. If they summon Sirocco, we go bottomless, they chain Icarus, and then we chain Typhoon, and we are up. We are up our lives. So we're going to set Typhoon first, bottomless second, and Dandelion, and pass. One of the reasons to set Dandelion is if we top deck Caius or top deck Titanial, it's better to have it in play. If we top deck Drill Warrior, we can always tribute summon the Quickdraw. We can always tribute summon the Quickdraw. And then Cyber Dragon, we can also tribute summon over the Dandelion if they choose to play passively yet again. So they are going to normal the Sirocco. We are going to bottomless. Exactly what we predicted would happen, but they don't chain Icarus because they know what our last 2 cards are, which makes sense. It makes sense. And we do top deck the Titanial, so it is better to have this in play. We're going to go ahead and pass again. They are setting cards now. I think this new card is least likely to be a trap card, simply because they know about the Trap Dust Shoot in our hand, so they're setting to play around it. Okay, Shura is one of the worst possibles for us, but we are going to at least get 1 token out of this, depending on what they summon from the deck. They're going to grab Vayu. It's a good thing we were able to banish the Sirocco. They're going to run over one of the tokens. Little awkward that we have Titanial, Dust Shoot, Avarice. And this is kind of what I was talking about in the last set as well, is that... where is it going with this? I will set Nimble, Mega Hamster, and pass. If they Icarus us here, we are losing the Mega Hamster, but we will get to chain Typhoon at least. They could Synchro into Android or Catastor to guaranteed get over the Hamster, but it's still fine for us. They're going to target both monsters. That's okay. That's okay. Like I said, this middle one is the least likely to be a threat, so I'm not going to Typhoon that one, most likely. And they're going to set more cards. Cold Wave. That's big. If we can find our one Debris Dragon, then we should be good to win. I'm actually going to set the Dust Chute now and pass. The Dust Chute's going to be dead for the remainder of this game, because anything they draw, they're going to be able to play. And by the time the Dust Chute is relevant, then... Okay, Hamster's pretty good. Hamster's pretty good. Let's set that guy and pass. This is why we play 3 Hamster as well. It just helps you in the aggro matchups like this that can normally actually be really bad matchups. I think playing 3 Hamster makes this matchup a little bit more bearable. Unfortunately, we are, in an awkward situation. It's possible they have Kalutes as well. Kalut could help them get over the Hamster, get another summon from deck. It'd be very annoying. Opponent is big thonking here. If they have a Blizzy, they might be thinking about using it now as well. Blizzy back the value gives them an extra fodder for Icarus attack. And a few other things. This has been a tricky few turns. Ideally for us, they just attack, don't have Kalut, and pass. That would be the best possible. That would be the best possible. Anything other than that, not looking so good for us. Okay. So this is going to flip. This is going to activate. We're going to be able to special summon out Raikou from the deck, which is huge. Actually so good. Now this turn is where things get tricky. Main phase 2 Icarus attack. Target both monsters. There's a second Icarus attack gone, but we'll take that. I mean, that's a straight up 2-for-1 for us. And it removes their board presence, which is nice. They're going to set 2 more cards, still further playing around the Dust Chute that they know about, which is totally chill, actually. That means that they have only 1 threat in hand. Oh, this card trooper looks good. I mean, we have to try it, right? Let's go ahead and try it. Okay, 3x. Hopefully we hit Dandelion. That would be so good. Nope. But we did hit a 5th monster, which is really what matters. We'll attack first, see what their back row is like. No D-Prison, thank goodness. And now we will Avarice target all 5. I think we've turned a corner in this where we're actually in a pretty decent spot, all things considered. Opponent looks like they are a little bit light on the monster side of things, and that's what I love to see when playing this matchup. I love when the opponent doesn't have monsters. Unfortunately, we're just drawing bricks. I mean, we sided out an Avarice. We still managed to draw 2 of them and the Titanial and the Dead Dust Chute, which is very unfortunate. I mean, those are like the 4 biggest bricks going second. But the Avarice does have some potential to do more, and we still have a card trooper in play that can threaten the opponent and then potentially draw us into a better card here in a second, so not too worried. There's Sirocco. That's going to be okay. Sirocco is really good for them because if it goes to the graveyard, then we are going to be, what is the word? Turning on their value. There's Quickdraw. Okay, that's something. We can actually make a pretty big play next turn. I am going to try to Typhoon one of these back rows now. I think now's the time to do this. Road. Deck Devastation Virus. That's pretty big. It's actually really big. It's going to hit our Quickdraw. They can see our hand. That's tough. I cannot lie that that is tough. I may have to do something a little unorthodox. I think we're actually fucked. I think we just lose. I don't know if there's a single top deck in our whole deck that saves us. Maybe D-Prison. Maybe D-Prison. But I just have to set Trap Hole and pass. That actually got us pretty good. Deck dev. Maybe they forget about value. That would be the best thing for us, is if they forget about value. They're not going to, but yeah, they're not going to. Well, we drew every dead card possible, and then we got deck dev'd out of the only live play we had, so, I mean, that's just going to happen some percentage of games. We can't stop this, so we got to take 2,300. We dropped 500, which is not good. They don't have Colute, or else that would have been a lethal Colute drop, so that's something, I suppose, but we reveal Heavy Storm. I'm going to go to main 1. I am going to activate Heavy Storm and then concede. But I want to see what their back rows are. So we have a good idea of what the opponent is doing. They already knew our 2 back rows, so we're not losing information. We got Compulsory, double D-Prison still in against us. Starlight Road, Deck Dev, and Compulsory are all good to know about. Okay, let's go ahead and go into the next game. That was tough. That was tough. This looks like the Monster Gamer list of Blackwings, which means DD Crow is slightly better. It is slightly better. Solemn Judgment is one way to negate that thing, and Kaiku's actually just a card we can summon under whatever the fuck that card is. Deck Devastation Virus, so, I mean, I'm probably going to bring it in here, just because it also shuts off Value, which can come up randomly here or there. We had a lot of bricks that game. I'm going to side out the Trap Dushu, because I just don't think it's that good in this matchup. You saw exactly what happened, is they just set their whole hand, and we just fucking lost. I am going to bring in the Solemn Judgment. Maybe. Hold on. I don't think so. I think we just want to play War of Attrition and then go from there. We just have to be really careful of deck dev, which is the only thing. And then it's a matter of whether or not we want crows. If we want a crow, it's like over a Cyber Dragon. But I don't know if that's the case. Otherwise, over a Caius maybe. All right, let's fucking try it. This might be really stupid, but I'm gonna side out 1 Caius for 1 Crow. I think it's too important to be able to interact with the Value and the Blizzard plays when they have stuff like Deck Devastation Virus. Opening hand looks really solid. Even with the drawn Titanial, we do have the Hamster opening, as well as Book of Moon to prevent normal summon under Whirlwind, which is basically the worst possible situation for us. Unfortunately, if they do have Shura, it does have 1200 defense. Our Hamster can't attack over it. But that's that, I suppose. They're just going to pass the turn. How interesting. Well, I'm going to flip the Hamster. No reason not to, right? Special summon out. Raikou from the deck. I'm going to normal summon Sangan and just start applying some pressure. Deal some damage. Sangan in play insulates us a little bit from potential Deck Devastation Virus from the opponent. If they summon Ashura and try to attack the Nimble Mega Hamster, we can book it, which is very nice. If they attack the Sangan, we can maybe book the Shura. Who knows? But this is actually a decent spot for us. The fact that they didn't play anything at all on turn 1 is kind of interesting. Maybe they were trying to play around Raikou. Here's Black Whirlwind. Here's double Black Whirlwind. Okay, but we just have the Book of Moon for the normal summon, and that's tough for them. Okay, they could have Icarus attack now. We have to be careful of that. The way to play around Icarus attack would be to immediately tribute summon Titanial. I want to Raikou pop one of the Whirlwinds just because those are the threats here. Those are the issues. So let's do that first. We'll go Raikou, activate target Whirlwind. Mill 3. Milled all spells and traps, which is generally speaking unfortunate, but for our hand specifically, I don't think it matters all that much. We could switch the Hamster to defense and then go to the battle phase and try to run over the Sirocco. Which is a play we could make. Alternatively, we could go for damage and turn this into a damage game. How much does 1300 matter? It puts them to 46. Our hand is a little bit bricky right now. But we will be able to commit a second hamster to the field, which gets us another Raikou, which can out the last Whirlwind, or whatever monster they have in play. I think it's better to go for the damage. It's marginal, but it's better. If they have Mirror Force, fuck me. But, you know, if they don't, then I think the extra 1100 here actually might end up mattering. So they go to 46. We are going to set the Mega Hamster and pass. This could be wrong, but who knows? We've got Fader Gores. They're targeting the Sangan. I'm not really sure why they're targeting the Sangan. But yeah, the Sangan was already in play. Yes, since the last turn. Now they go to main 1. They could summon another Sirocco here. That wouldn't be the most unheard of thing in the world. I have a read on their back row being something like Bottomless, maybe. It's either Bottomless or Oppression, because those are the one things they wouldn't have used. They probably would have deprisoned a Sangan. Compulsory they also wouldn't have used. Got to think about that as well. Could be Compulsory. Icarus I feel like they would have used. Black Whirlwind's going to find value. Okay. That's okay, though. Gale's going to have the Hamster, most likely. I'm assuming that's what it's going to have. That's, yep, exactly what they're doing. Gale runs over the Hamster. That gets them some amount of something. They have 1 value in hand that we know about. And that's it so far. Okay, so we're going to take 750 here, I believe. Yep. And then they're going to set another back row. Torrential. What an excellent draw. I think first things first is we flip Hamster. Because if they have Royal Oppression, I want to see which one it is. Looks like they don't. So that's pretty good for us. Now at this point in the day, if Kaiku connects, it's really good. The new back row could be Mirror Force. Additionally, we could tribute summon Titanial by sacrificing Sangan and Raikou. If they have Icarus attack, we can negate it with Titanial. And we can also search our 1 DD Crow to help protect us from a value play. It's possible they also have Dark Arm Dragon, so I think we're going to go for the Titanial play just to get the Sangan search. This plays a little bit better into Bottomless, I think, but it doesn't play as well into Mirror Force. Yeah, we are going to grab DD Crow. Opponent is typing a lot. Curious what they're typing. Very curious. Titanial also plays better into Kalut, which is something that I should have mentioned earlier, but forgot about. Kaiku just kind of plays really, really poorly into Kalut. Opponent is still typing. Typing a novel here. I've never had the chance to say this, but thank you for what you've done for this format. It's been my favorite since 2010, and the fact that I'm playing it again this much is amazing. Thank you for what you've done, and still do. Big heart. So, I appreciate that. Glad you're enjoying the content. Yeah, smile face. Much more to come. And that goes for you guys as well, the viewers. There's much more to come. I'm working on some big stuff. We're going to be doing some really cool Edison stuff here in the future. A lot of over-the-table stuff I'm working on. Trying to get the setup perfected. And going to do some collabs with a lot of the powerful duelists here in my hometown. So, really appreciate that. And kind of excited to be playing this format again as well. If you guys can't tell, I've been playing it like every day for the last 10 years. Not 10 years, last year or whatever. Making is on as well. In fact, there's a community now. It's amazing. So amazing. Yu-Gi-Oh is living on with the old duelist. Thanks, bro. Hell yeah. This is a really kind message. I really appreciate this, the Poke Rapper. You're a real one. You are a real one. Is Titanial summon okay? Just wanna attack. Wanna attack with the Titanial. Attack. I'm getting the Yu-Gi-Oh, like, moving the card in the forward direction vibes, the duelist vibes. What is it? Attack ADHD. I'm losing my focus on the game because this is a really kind message. It's making me smile. Low key. It's really nice. Honestly, a large part of it is due to the fact that people just like this format and people just like this game, and the tournaments are a great time. I think free to enter tournaments with huge prizes like RBET, it's a big deal. It's a big deal to a lot of people. It's been a big deal to me too. I don't know if you guys know this, but I lost my job, more or less, due to COVID, and I didn't really have much, which is kind of awkward to say or admit. And I started playing Yu-Gi-Oh in Format Library, so I owe a lot to those guys, Jazz and MMF and James and Cameron and all those dudes. So shout outs to all of them for being around and playing the game with me too when I needed it. So hopefully this community can help you guys in the same way. You know, you can find some homies, play some games, and just maybe escape some of the shitty stuff that's going on in the world today. There's a lot of awkward, not so good things, and there's some okay things, but I think here we Titanial negate the Icarus attack, no matter what they're targeting, and then they can Vayu, but we can DD Crow. I think Res. I think I DD Crow the Vayu on Res. Yeah. Just because I don't want them to have Dark Armed. I mean, we have Torrential, but I don't want to lose this Raikou Pop. The Raikou Pop is actually so important. So, now, you know they don't have a better normal summon because they would have normal summoned it to get the Whirlwind Search first. We're not going to pop the Whirlwind. We're actually going to use Raikou to pop the middle back row because it's the most likely to be a threatening one. We're going to mill 3. Didn't hit Dandelion, unfortunately, of course. This last back row is most likely Royal Oppression, so now I'm down to just normal summon Kaiku and attack with everything and go for game. GG's. Oh, Starlight Red. That makes sense. And yes, they did have Dark Arm Dragon, so it was a good thing we crowed on Resolution there. And not the same. I mean, it's the same thing, right? Like, you're going to crow the Vayu when they activate it anyway, so you might as well do it on Resolution to play around Dark Arm Dragon. You too, man. Oh, I hit with the smiley face. You too, man. Yeah, I'm excited for RBET4 too, so hope to see you guys there. Again, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. E3 Yu-Gi-Oh! Signing off. Peace out, everybody. Have a great day.